Hey everybody, this is Nettie Nonstop Info and Edutainment here to talk to you again. So this recently came across my desk and I found it very intriguing. In fact, a lot of the things that are going on in our country, an American in America today, is just bizarre. It's bizarre. And so I want to share this story with you. We're going to talk today with regards to squatters, Huh. Squatters and migrants' illegal takeover of homes coming to a town near you folks. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to dissect it. We're going to see what is really going on because I don't think enough of us know what is really going on. Okay. So we're going to play the tape and just see what's going on out here in these streets, folks.
It's not that simple. It's a long process. Evictions can take close to 2.
I don't know the law. Yeah, there's laws. You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrested may surprise you.
Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joins us now with more on.
Now, can you imagine this coming home to your house? You own it, you pay for it, or say it's given to you by your parents, your grandparents. Your name is on the deed, and you come home to what is your property, and someone else is there. Let's proceed.
On what happened, tell us, Dan.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you.
Who are these people?
Figure out the situation.
Yeah, but they're in my house, man.
Relax.
No.
To understand how this day ended,
We need the police right away.
with multiple 911 calls and arrests, we have to start at the beginning.
Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name?
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it,
No, he locked it.
but she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved.
Again, this is her inheritance. This lady, Adele, this is her inheritance. Her parents left this to her property, and she comes to the property and there are people in it. How would you feel? How would you feel?
moved in on February 6th and refused to leave.
What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman showed up.
What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here?
She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men.
How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith. I didn't.
Did y'all just hear that? They called the police on her. It's her property. The deed is in her name. And they, meaning the squatters, called the police on her.
Didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs
They got one out.
and escorted the other guy off the property.
Now you're afraid to come out.
I'm not coming out. This house is empty. This is my home. My locksmith is on the corner waiting to change my locks. And it's not fair. It's not fair that I, as the homeowner, should be having to go through this.
How you doing?
And I agree with her 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Those folks have no rights to that home, to that property, to that real estate. They have no rights to it. Except in New York, they have this law. Where are our lawmakers? Who do they work for?
Minutes later, a locksmith showed up, but police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said,
Police give her a warning. Let me put emphasis on this. She owns the property. She has to pay taxes on the property or make sure the taxes are paid to continue to have the property. And police gave her a warning.
said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed,
That's not going on.
the man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
And this is the thing here. You guys saw the dude pushing her around. All right. What rights does she have? What rights does she have that this man who does not own this property, is not on the deed to this property, has no connection other than he came by and saw an opportunity to the property. He's hustling, rustling, and tussling with her, and he gets no handcuffs. He gets no jail time. It seems like the inmates are running the asylum.
Yes, he did. And so did you. You broke through the front door.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
Because technically he can't be kicked out. You need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue, and by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own it.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it.
He didn't show me a lease.
This is a bill.
A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease?
No.
He's got no documentation.
He has no lease. He has no documentation. He is not on the deed. Why? Oh, why are the police, whom the taxpayers pay for, protecting this man? It's wrong. He hustles and rustles and tussles with her. No battery charge against him. Come on, man. Come on.
Just bills.
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested
For what?
for being in my own home.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed
That's
is
what it was
current
told
and
to me.
legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there.
So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court.
Pay him his money. You got to be friggin' kidding me. Pay him his money? Sick. Twisted. That you can have something that is truly yours, but it can be simply taken away from you overnight. And the law does not protect you. Crazy.
It's that simple.
It's not that simple. It's a long process. Eviction can take close to 2 years to complete.
Did y'all hear that? 2 years. 2 years. Who can sustain that? Maybe she was going to rent the property out. Think about that's 24 months of no payment. That's 24 months of that house probably being trashed and needing major renovations after you get these squatters out. That's 24 months of worry. That's 24 months of having to be stressed out. It is totally inappropriate and sick for this to be a. So the next story that I want to talk to you guys about is coming also out of New York. Out of New York. As you can see on the screen here, this lady was unalived by 2 teenage squatters in New York City. And it's just crazy. It's really crazy, you guys, that people can come and just take over your property and then unalive you. It's like we're living in the Purge, those Purge movies. So let's get into this story. 2 teenagers, they have them in custody. Okay. After this woman's, person was found in a duffel bag. I mean, who does that? I mean, are these people not human? Don't you have a mama, a sister, auntie, somebody? Nadia Vittel, 52, from Spain, arrived in the U.S. to prepare her mother's empty Manhattan apartment for a family friend. Okay? So it sounds like she's trying to help. They're trying to help out a family friend. And police say Vittel was attacked after she entered her mother's supposed to be vacant apartment and found 2 people living there. Can you imagine that? You go into what is your property, minding your business, and out of the blue, you're being ambushed by people who are freeloading off of you. During the ensuing struggle, Vittel was thrown against a wall. Police say the 2 suspects, a male and a female, then stole Vittel's Lexus and drove to New Jersey, and they crashed the vehicle. I can see that, near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Now, this is my thing. I know men and women together doing crime is as old as Bonnie and Clyde. But women, girls, you have no shame, you have no morals. The suspects were taken into custody on Friday in York, Pennsylvania. On March 14th, Vitel's worried son and other relatives entered the Kips Bay apartment with the superintendent. They found Vitel's body in a duffel bag in a closet, her foot sticking out of the bag. She passed away from blunt force trauma. From blunt force trauma. Again, they reiterate in this article what was said in the other news clip, that New York's squatters' rights law protects squatters who break into vacant homes and remain there for more than 30 days. Ain't that a blip? Ain't that a trip? So you guys, the squatting game is getting so to be so prevalent that even the migrants who crossed over illegally are getting in on the game. They're getting in on it. They want their piece of the pie too. All right. Let's take a look at this.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla.
Okay, guys, now my Spanish is not the greatest, okay? Un poquito. But here, as you can see from the subtitles, he had already, did y'all catch that? He had already been thinking about how to invade American houses. He had already been thinking about that. And then there's more. He stumbles upon the information about squatting and squatting laws. Let's roll the tape.
Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas, ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas.
Okay, folks. So he's saying that, hey, he's been talking to the other illegals, okay? And they like, hey man, we've taken over 7 houses. So he said he's been talking to the Africans who have migrated over here illegally. And they told him, look, we already took over 7. Let's do it. This is a damn shame, y'all. I just want to say that this is a damn shame. Okay.
Como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública.
So he's saying, look, we don't have to live on the streets. We don't have to worry about being put out. We can just come take your shit. That's what he's saying. I just translated for you. We can just come take your shit. We can come squat in it. Your blood, your sweat, your tears, your hard work, your sacrifice, your parents' sacrifice. We can just come and take it. Okay, let's roll.
Pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderlas, hasta pedir créditos con ellas. ¿Qué dicen ustedes? Mi gente.
Wow. Wow, folks. Wow. He know the law better than some of y'all, right? He's studying up on our law and how to do lawfare, navigate the law system to do harm to hard working red-blooded Americans. Yeah. Yeah. That's what he said. I'm coming for yours. I found a loophole. I know the law. We're going to find these deteriorated properties and boom, we coming, baby. Get ready. We already been thinking about how to take your shit. But what we're going to do is follow your law on how we can screw you over. Yeah, that's what he said. But see, it's going to get to a point. The tipping point is coming, you guys. The tipping point is coming. And we're going to get to a point where people have to decide. People are going to have to decide what side of the road they're going to stand on. And this is bigger than Democrats and Republicans because really it's two wings, one bird, two wings. Because a lot of them are working together. A lot of them are working together. So, folks, we're at that point. We're at the point now. And I got this on the screen. It's one of my favorite movies, 300. And we're at the point where he asked the men on the other side who were questioning whether they should join with Leonidas and his troops, so to speak. And he asked them, "What is your profession?" One guy says, "I'm a potter." Another says, "I'm a sculptor." Another says, "I'm a blacksmith." Leonidas turns to his people, his troops, and he said, "Spartans, what are you?" And they all answer with one voice. Basically, we warriors. We ready. So we're at the point, Americans, where we need to ask ourselves, instead of saying, "I'm black, I'm white, I'm this sexual orientation, I speak this language," we're at the point where we need to be saying, "Americans, where do you stand? Where do you stand? Do you stand on the side of this country staying together and moving forward, or are you on the side that is going to take us into the point, the place, the dark space of no return, where it's okay for people to come and squat and take over your house? It's okay for illegal crossers of our borders to say, you know, I've been sitting here thinking how we could take their shit. It's time to leave all the identity politics behind. And instead of saying, I'm black, I'm white, I'm Latin, I'm LGBTQ, I'm American. And I won't stand for you taking over our country. And see, more people need to realize, they need to realize what's really going on. I'm going to break it down to its least common denominator for you guys to see and to understand on a very basic level what is happening. What is happening? You have people like this woman right here, Letitia James, okay? And this woman, who some of you guys are holding up because of her identity, because she's a black woman with a degree. I got a degree. You are not comprehending, because it haven't been broadcast on the news, that this woman right here is working for people like I just showed you, the squatters, the people crossing our border illegally who want to take what's yours. She's working for that side. All right, Letitia James. Not only her, all right, there are others working for the other side. The other side. This woman right here, Fannie, Funky, Willis, is working for the other side. But because of identity politics, people will look at her, oh, she's a black woman. She's just like me. She has her degrees. She's in a powerful position. We've worked too hard. When really, when you break it down to its least common denominator, she's working for the side that would eradicate you, that would re-enslave you. Some of you. She's working for the side that does not like America. She's working for the side that wants to see you subjugated. Yeah. Yes, she is. But you get fooled. You get fooled because she belongs to your ethnic group, or she's a woman, or she belongs to your sorority. And it confuses things. It puts a veil over your eyes that this woman, although she is your color, she's not your kind. For those of you who are the same color as her. And I have one more person that I want to call out and bring to your attention. All right. And that is Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman. Boy, she's smiling right there, right? She's smiling. She's a Obama appointed judge. Okay. And she, my dear friends, just ruled that illegal immigrants have the right to carry guns. But see, for some of us, we will look at her and be like, oh, she's black. Oh, she's a woman. Oh, she's broken through a glass ceiling. Oh, she's just like me. No, she isn't. She is your enemy. She's your enemy. We've got folks crossing the border. You seen them. You seen the dude. Do I need to bring him back up? Let me bring him back up. Let me bring him back up to this dude. You seen him? He's ready to take your stuff. And the judge I just showed you, Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman, says, hey, let me put some more tools in your arsenal. Folks, we're at a tipping point. And I hope that some of you, more of you, will realize what's really going on. What's really, really going on. I don't think y'all realize. We're at a very difficult time. You know, a very difficult time. We have people like these two yo-yos who went and unalived that lady in New York, going into the apartment that her mother owned and unaliving her. It's past time, people, for us to wake up as not this group, that group, this group, but as Americans. I hope you guys have enjoyed this broadcast. I certainly have enjoyed putting it together for you all. I want you to like, share, and subscribe if you're vibing with me. It takes a lot of time and effort, which I enjoy putting these broadcasts together. If you see fit, out of the goodness of your heart, the Cash App is located on the screen. For those of you who give, I'm sending you a big fat kiss. For those of you who don't give, I'm sending you a big fat hug and letting you know that we the people, we Americans, we can turn this around. We can turn this around, okay? Till next time, this is Nettie Nonstop signing off.